So I finally made the switch to the iOS, and I've been an Android user for about 8 years, and I have been thinking about switching to the iPhone for quite a few times now, and there are plenty of reasons for that, and I shall be telling you each one of them and why did I make the jump from the Android to the iOS, and what I miss and what I really like about the new operating system that I'm currently on. So stay tuned till the end of the video. So firstly, let's start from the things that I really miss being on iOS. Now, one of the things is the display. Now, if I upgraded to a phone with a good OLED panel, I might not have regretted, but since I just upgraded to an iPhone XR, this could be a problem to me. I used to use the Samsung Galaxy S9 and it had a Quad HD HDR panel, and it was one of the best panels that I have ever really used. But there is a but in this situation. The iPhone XR display was far more superior than I expected it to be, being a 720p IPS LCD panel. When I compare it to the 1080p non-OLED panels in the Android industry, I still find the XR to be a little more crispier, a little more detailed, and a lot more color accurate if that's what you're into. And I really like how the 120Hz touch sampling really gets the UI to scroll really smoother. I know the display is not 120Hz, but since the touch is 120Hz, and it makes the experience 2x smoother than what you would expect on a normal 60Hz phone. The second thing that I miss on my iPhone from the Android is a pretty big thing, but hey, don't judge me please, but I used to download songs from the internet, and I could say that they were pirated, and on Android they were pretty easy to download, but on iOS I have to do a whole lot of different steps to get them right, and I really don't want to pay for each and every song. And also the streaming services are not so, I would say, easier to access here in my country. So it's a bit of a bummer that I have to go to YouTube to listen to songs once again, and that is a bit of a bummer for me. The third thing that I really miss the most, I think you all can relate to this on a very personal level if you have switched to iOS from the Android, it's that when I really miss the customization ability to do just literally everything. Don't like the emojis? Change them. Don't like the font? Change them. Don't like the home screen? Just replace it. And don't like the OS? Replace it. I mean, I used to do that stuff a lot, but now on the iOS I have to be sticking to the guidelines provided by the Apple, and the ability that I have, I cannot customize more than it, and there is a limit to what I can customize. But I don't really feel too bad about it, since the OS is operating really perfectly, more than I expected it to be, although everything just seems polished and really a lot more refined than it was on Android. Now that I've shown you all the things that I really miss on the iOS that should have been here, let's talk about the things that I really like. Number one is how smooth the animations are. I mean, it could be a little thing for you guys, but for me, it makes all the difference in the world if the operating system is far fluent and it's working like how it should. Part of that reason could be that I'm using the iPhone XR, and it's fairly old, but not that much old that you can expect that the performance to degrade over time. Its performance is still up the notch, and pun intended, I really like how the animations are and how good the app opening times is and how quickly I can switch from using the home button to a different app. I know that can be done on Android too since the Android 10, but it was not as smooth as it should have been. Second thing is how polished and refined the operating system is. For example, and this is a really big thing for me, when I use the camera on Android, the main stock camera, it does really good processing. But when I switch to Instagram, for example, and I take a photo or a video in a story, it just doesn't feel the same, because it isn't the same. It really misses the processing that the vendor is providing you, and that is not the case on iPhone. If I use any other app than the stock camera, it will provide me the same color profile, the same sharpness levels, and everything same in the camera app. Even if I'm using Instagram, I would be having the same camera experience that I would be having, for example, using the stock camera. And that makes a world of a difference for me, because I do not have to go to my stock camera every time I'm trying to take a picture or a video. So that's a thumbs up. Now, number 3 is, I cannot believe I would say that, but I have to. It's how good the iOS devices integrate with each other. Android devices can integrate with each other pretty well, but it has to use some third-party access or third-party apps, while on iOS it's just built into it. I mean, if you're using a hotspot from your friend with having iPhone, you would be having a logo on top right of the screen which shows you how much the data plan are they running on, and are they on even the low data mode, so you should not download any apps from the App Store, if that makes sense. And it's also how good the AirDrop is. I have tested the nearby sharing on Android, but it does not seem to be as fast and reliable as AirDrop, at least yet. It might get better in the future. And also the iMessage. I still cannot believe that I'm saying this, but iMessage is the way to go. It's really, really good if you're using an iPhone and talking to a person who's using an iPhone as well. And the last and not the least feature that why I have switched to the iOS is probably because of the camera. Now, don't get me wrong, Android phones have pretty good cameras, but iPhone was consistently the second or the first when it comes to the camera quality over these years, and I think they've developed a pretty good taste in the camera department. And by the way, for a matter of fact, this video is also being recorded on my iPhone XR's front camera and not even the back. It's on 1080p 30 frames per second, so you can guess how good the quality is. But my main reason was that I could not find a phone which was having a good camera and as well as having no exceptions. For example, if I go to the Pixel, I would get a really good camera, but it was not according to my taste. I did not like the contrast and the boosted clarity on that one. It does not seem too real for me. It does seem really good for the landscape photography. For the portraits, I did not like it. That was it for the video. Hope you guys liked it, and make sure to hit the like button if you really did like it, and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. This is Aridhasan, and I'm signing out. Peace.